With the holidays also comes an increase in alcohol consumption for many adults. Here to give us some tips on how to manage holiday drinking is Danielle Collins-Facto, Licensed Program Supervisor of Intake and Outpatient at Chesapeake Integrated Behavioral Healthcare. Thanks so much for being here today.
Thanks for having me.
Now, do people tend to drink more during the holidays, and if so, why is that?
Generally, the holidays are a time for celebration and socialization, and alcohol is legal.
Yes.
Typically, people drink to celebrate the holidays, socialize. However, also people drink as a coping mechanism.
Right.
So the holidays can be stressful. For some, they can be chaotic, and individuals may drink a little bit more because of the stressful times that they're experiencing.
And you're with your family more, so things like that, you know, that tend to be sometimes stressful anyway, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Now, what are the holiday drinking risk of someone, say, for instance, because they're drinking more during the holidays? What could be some potential risk?
Yeah, I would say the risks are the same. They're just multiplied because of the increased use. So one of the biggest risks is drinking and driving,
Absolutely.
Of course. You know, individuals may make poor choices when they've been drinking, and other things that sometimes we see, you know, people may be spending a little bit more money on alcohol. And, you know, that really can have a negative consequence in their life.
Absolutely. So, now what are some tips for staying safe during the holidays, during the drinking season? What can you do to sort of prepare yourself ahead of time?
Yeah, so it's always important to plan ahead, you know, to have kind of a plan of action of how you're going to get home, identifying a designated driver. We all know, you know, there's a lot of rideshare
I was going to mention that,
programs out there, Uber and Lyft. And so it's always important just to kind of have a plan in the event that you want to get home and you don't want to be charged with drinking and driving.
And that's for any time that you're going out and there's the potential to drink. It's always smart to just call that Lyft or Uber. And I know a lot of people who do that now, they don't even think twice about it. But sometimes people may not necessarily plan on drinking that much, and then they do.
Exactly.
So,
yeah, I don't think anybody sets out to get a DUI.
Right, absolutely
Nobody
not.
wakes up one morning and thinks, oh, this is going to be a great idea. I'm going to go get a DUI and, you know, face legal consequences, financial consequences. Nobody makes that choice.
Or potentially harm someone else.
Exactly, exactly. So, you know, some of the risks are being on the road in general. You know, during the holiday season, there's a lot of parties. Again, people may not be making the best choices. So it's really just important to plan ahead.
And even maybe eat something is important as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. So, you know, staying hydrated, you know, it sounds really corny, but, you know, alcohol dehydrates the body. So, you know, drinking water throughout the day, perhaps you're planning on going to a party in the evening, making sure you have a balanced meal before you go out. You know, some other risks are, you know, people feel depressed. During the winter months, you know, at times. And drinking is a depressant. Alcohol is a depressant.
That's what I was going to ask you. Is it true, like, if you're already in a down mood, that alcohol is only going to intensify that?
We often see that. You know, people are trying to cope. They're trying to feel better. Maybe people are using alcohol as a social lubricant. You know, they want to be able to get out there and socialize with other people. And
loosen their inhibitions.
Exactly. And really what happens is it just contributes to the depression even more.
Right. It only makes it worse. Maybe you may temporarily feel better, but probably the next day you're not going to feel good at all, especially if you overindulge, I would imagine. So
Exactly.
Now, if you already have a problem with alcohol, how can someone stay sober but still enjoy the holidays?
Yeah, so there's a lot of sober gatherings out there, community-based support groups such as AA, NA, Celebrate Recovery, Smart Recovery. Those self-help groups, they organize sober gatherings for individuals who may be struggling during the holidays, finding a place where they can go and enjoy themselves without feeling tempted by substances. I think it's also important to involve your support system and let them know, hey, I'm struggling right now. I'm thinking about drinking. I'm concerned about how I'm going to be able to make it through this season. And, you know, for those of us who have loved ones who are struggling with alcohol, it's really important that we kind of put ourselves out there and say, hey, how can I help you? I can bring you to a therapy appointment. Because unfortunately, there is a stigma that still exists surrounding addiction. And, you know, at CIBH, we really are trying to break that down and help people see that this is a brain disease. It's not a moral failing. The person's brain acts in a certain manner that causes them to have cravings and urges to use. And when they do that, it really just makes the problem worse. So having a sober support system is really important.
And not being afraid to talk about it.
Yes.
To help break that stigma.
Talking about it is so important. Just letting someone know, I'm here to listen to you. I may not understand what you're going through, but I'm here to support you. What kind of help do you need? And I will help you.
And maybe sort of talking about planning ahead, maybe don't put yourself in a situation, if you can avoid it, where there is that temptation of alcohol or other people are drinking and maybe you feel like you have to just, I hate to say peer pressure, but sometimes even at an older age, that's still a fact.
Yeah, but again, you know, alcohol is socially accepted. It's a legal substance. And, you know, there's a report that comes out every year. 140 million people a month drink alcohol versus under 400,000 who use heroin. So the use is high, and it is legal.
And that's a big part. It is legal. It's accepted.
Exactly. So to piggyback on what you were saying, knowing your high-risk situations are really important. Knowing the people that you should avoid, knowing kind of the thoughts that come into your mind that could, you know, cause you to have additional cravings, and involving your support system.
Right. Now, what help is available for someone who has a problem with alcohol through CIBH?
Through CIBH, we offer a variety of services, including individual therapy, intensive outpatient, couples and family therapy. There is medication management that could be available, and case management.
Okay. And of course, there's a website and a phone number for CIBH.
Yes, the main phone number is 547-9334. And we are on the city webpage.
Right, so you can go to cityofchesapeake.net and see IBH.
Yes.
Would be available, and I know that you guys offer so many resources. So
we do. We do.
Well, thank you so much for coming on to talk about this.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate it.